Well, the world has taken action to punish North Korea for testing 2 missiles capable of reaching the U.S. But the sanctions not sitting well with the leader, Kim Jong-un. The North now threatening harsh retaliation against the United States. So how should we respond? Joining us right now, former Congresswoman Nan Hayworth. Nan is a member of the Independent Women's Forum Board of Directors and also a member of the Donald J. Trump for President Advisory Board. Good morning, Nan.
Good morning, Lauren.
All right, no doubt this was a political victory for the Trump administration. The UN unanimously voting for the sanctions on North Korea. So you have the entire international community behind this, including Russia and China. I have to ask you, what are the chances for enforcement of the sanctions?
Well, I think that the key is going to be China, because clearly North Korea depends economically, and namely Kim Jong-un depends for his success in largest measure on the way China treats him. Clearly he is speaking, when he makes these threats rhetorically following the sanctions, he is speaking to the potential opponents he has within that regime, but it will be up to China. And that then depends on our relationship with China and how important the People's Republic of China sees its relationship with the United States. Clearly, China, the United States, Russia, and every other sensible power in the world understands that we do not want to get into a nuclear war. But Kim Jong-un cannot be relied on to have that same understanding. So it's very important that we, as a nation, that we, the United States, are able to press the importance to China continually of having a successful and respectful relationship with us.
But, Nan, you just brought up the military option there. We continue to hear from Rex Tillerson, Secretary of State, Nikki Haley, UN Ambassador, that we're willing to talk. The ball is in North Korea's court. Stop the nuclear and missile tests, and we'll figure something out. But yet, we continue to see the North say they're not open for negotiation, and even vowing thousands-fold revenge, that's a quote, in response to the sanctions.
Of course. And again, that's Kim Jong-un, who is clearly a narcissist and a madman, but he stands at the helm of this dictatorship. So we can't rely on him not to go further with this. I think the only partner that can actually really put its hands around his throat and constrain him fully is the People's Republic of China. And let's bear in mind, and John Bolton, Ambassador Bolton has said it many times, but when the United States under President Obama pursued the deal with Iran, we gave Iran billions of dollars that it has proceeded to use in trade with North Korea. So we have funded a lot of this nuclear development. And so when President Trump talks about how bad the Iran deal is, he is absolutely right. It is dreadful for the United States, dreadful for our national security. But now it's incumbent on us to make sure that we have our economy in order so that we have the kind of leverage that we need versus the People's Republic of China to make sure that they will exert the leverage they have over North Korea.
Well, clearly there's a new sheriff in town and no more appeasement as a strategy. 20 seconds here. In a move of defiance, North Korea, they moved anti-ship cruise missiles to a new location. What does that say to you? What does that spell?
They are going to continue to rattle their sabers until Kim Jong-un perceives an existential threat to his regime. And so it's up to us to continue the pressure on our partners in this sanctions agreement. And I think we've got superb hands at the helm of our Department of State and UN Ambassador Nikki Haley and Rex Tillerson. So
we have to leave it there.
They're great partners for the president.
Thank you so much for your perspective this morning.